You are a part of our team when you join the Gator Collective.
You do a great job supporting your Gators. This is your chance to show your support off the field.
Join Gator Collective today and help Gator Nation be the best place for NIL opportunities. Go to GatorCollective.com today and support the Gators like never before.
Gators Breakdown, because there's never a dull moment in Gator Nation.
The Gators Breakdown podcast is ready to go. I'm your host, David Waters. You can find me on Twitter at GatorDave_SEC. For this episode, of course, it is brought to you by the Gator Collective, and bringing it to you, Anthony Richardson, Princely Umanmielen, on the Gator Collective Twitter Spaces. Good time with those guys, a lot of fun. Bob Redmond and I co-hosted the event there with Jen from the Gator Collective, and we got into a lot right here on that Twitter Spaces. You'll hear a preview of it right here on Gators Breakdown, but for the full episode, well, Ventrell Miller even hops in later on in the episode. Eddie from the Gator Collective hops in and gives his thoughts on NIL and the Gator Collective, and his big thanks to those guys and just how important it is to be a Florida Gator. And then all the fan questions are available in the full episode. So become a Gator Collective member. The link is in the description. And you get that full episode. You get to hear more from Anthony Richardson, more from Princely, and just their thoughts on this season, their thoughts on their career, their thoughts on Billy Napier, the staff, even some off-the-wall questions as well, where you get to learn about the personality of these players a little bit. It's all right there as a Gator Collective member. On your user dashboard, the full episode will be there, past ones as well, everything coming up, all the events coming up as well. You'll have access to it as a Gator Collective member there. Hey, look, these current players are getting taken care of through NIL. It's been going on about a year now. Florida has one of the most advanced, if not the most advanced collective out there right here with the Gator Collective. It's going a long way in helping these players out, and the word gets around. Future Gator athletes are taking notice, and all the NIL opportunities at the University of Florida. And the Gator Collective goes a long way in fulfilling that role. So if you can, become a member, help these players out, help future players out, and just get all this extra content coming your way here. So here's a preview right here on this episode of Gators Breakdown of Anthony Richardson, Princely Umanmielen on the Gator Collective Twitter Spaces.
This is Jen with the Gator Collective. I feel like every time we do one of these, we are more excited for the athletes that have appeared. I mean, every week we're saying, oh, you won't believe who we've got this week. And again, another week and not a disappointment. We've got Gators quarterback Anthony Richardson and Princely, I'm going to butcher your last name, but Princely Umanmielen, I think I said it right. And we're so excited to have you guys here. Just a couple things before we get started. I want to thank Gator Nation. You may have seen our tweet today that we have over 325 new members over the last week, which is awesome. I know that Mr. Jizzle's listening here tonight, and we got to thank him for the strength in numbers phrase. You know, he brought that to our attention, and we're always happy to have Gator fans give us ideas, let us know how we can help grow this thing. And certainly for the collective, strength in numbers is our key. And the more we grow, the better we are, the more we're able to do with Gator athletes. And frankly, the more that recruits are taking notice, even those committed to other schools. So, you know, keep doing what we're doing, keep building it up, keep working hard, appreciate everything you guys are doing. One other thing to mention for those who are going to the Vandy game this weekend in Nashville, we're going to have a tailgate tent set up. It's going to be cold. It's going to be early, but we're going to be there supporting our guys. And so we're going to be set up in Commodore Lawn, which is right near the stadium. So check our timeline. We've got some maps on there and some information. But if you're in Nashville, stop by, hang out, say hi before we have that game that day. And then I think that's all we got. We've got hosts tonight. We've got Dave Waters and Bob Redmond. Bob has been running our Gator Collective message board. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. A lot of great information there. We're going to open up tonight with Dave and Bob asking some questions of Anthony and Princely, and then we'll open it up to fan questions after that. So with that, I will turn it over to our hosts.
Thank you, Jen. And yeah, I was going to make sure I shouted out there too for Bob's Bombs on the Gator Collective message board. So Bob, good job there.
Appreciate that. That's pretty funny.
All right, let's get started. I'm David Waters of Gators Breakdown here with Anthony Richardson and Princely Umanmielen right here on the Gator Collective Spaces doing this once again. Anthony, Princely, thanks for hopping on here and taking part with Gator fans out there and Gator Collective.
For sure. Appreciate y'all for having us.
All right, last week, Senior Day, of course, really emotional, everything going on around that. You guys in particular, what has this senior class meant to you guys?
I'll start off. When I first got here, being a defensive guy, I know Ventrell was like one of the guys that showed me how things are done just by example. He didn't have to tell me anything with words, but he would just lead by example. And that's one guy that I was really that I really wanted to send out the right way, and we were able to do that for him.
And Anthony, I know you go to SEC Media Days and Ventrell's there too. So, you guys, I know the relationship's going on longer than that, but, at least to kick this season off, you and him up there in Atlanta, SEC Media Days, and now so integral into the success of this team this year.
This group of seniors that we have, great guys, great people, great players as well. So just playing alongside them for the past couple of years has been a blessing, and like Princely said, Ventrell, he's pretty much the guy, the leader on the team, and he's challenged myself to step up and try to match his energy as a leader. So, just playing with those guys and just being around those guys has just been a blessing.
Is Amari Burney the grandpa Billy Napier says he is?
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, he's been around for both those guys been around for a while. So glad you guys got to send them out the right way. So, all right, Bob, go ahead.
So I know Jen mentioned it, and Coach doesn't want to hear anything about it. The temperature this weekend. I'm just curious, Anthony. You're a Gainesville guy. Have you ever played in anything that cold?
I've been in weathers and temperatures this cold, but I haven't actually, participated in the game. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
What are your thoughts on it, though?
Hey, in the future, God's willing, I'm eventually have to play in the NFL in cold weather like that. So hey, it's just only the beginning is going to help me, acclimate myself to that and get used to it.
And Princely, out in Texas, did you ever play in the really cold weather?
It got cold sometimes, but not too cold. I think we've had a couple of practices where it got really cold, like 30-something. Mm-hmm. I ain't never played in a game where it was that cold, but practice for sure.
Nothing you guys are sweating, though, evidently.
Yeah, we played. I think it was really cold last year when we played Tennessee.
Okay.
It was. I mean, not Tennessee. We played Tennessee home. South Carolina, I believe, was a pretty cold game.
Oh yeah, it was. Yep. Speaking of that, of course, it is a road game this week versus Vanderbilt. Oh, I mean, look, only 2 more games this season. It's kind of crazy how fast it's going by. Is it going by just as fast for you guys? I mean, it just seemed like yesterday you got the big upset win versus Utah in the Swamp, and now here we are, only 2 games left this season.
Yeah, like the previous years I've been here, my freshman year I played, but not too much, and then my sophomore year, I was like a role player. I got some minimum snaps every game. So those years, the season would go by like really slow. But now that I have like
Like I'm in a starting role for the team. It's really flew by. It's really different when you're actually playing every week. It makes it go by way faster.
Yeah, to piggyback off what Princely said, this year has definitely flown by. Not too many days ago, I was just talking to somebody about, the Florida State game, and it just hit me that we actually play them next week, and I was like, wow, like the season has really gone by. But, we've learned a lot throughout this season, so it's been a blessing.
Hey guys, back to a human nature part of being a football player at Florida. Princely, I'm just wondering, Coach Spence, what's a funny moment you guys that you can remember with Coach Spencer this year?
I can't even remember a specific one. Every day is funny with that dude. He comes in every day with the same type of energy. He's goofy, but he's still, gonna coach you up. So like every day in the D line room is a funny day with Coach Spencer.
He going to get after you for calling him goofy?
Nah.
And Anthony, what about, Coach Napier is so deliberate and almost robotic on the stage. Any funny moments that you can remember from him?
Not as many as, Coach Spence, but there's glimpses and flashes of, Coach Nate just being a funny guy, especially in our meeting rooms when we're watching film and stuff. We might joke about a play that we messed up on, or just, him being an older coach and us not knowing about some of the things that he's went through in the past. So there's glimpses and flashes of it.
Coach Nate, he'll drop like a joke here and there, but he ain't just like a completely funny guy.
Is it like a dad joke?
It'll be like some will happen like that we're watching on film, and he'll just like make a joke about it, like stuff like that.
Anthony, one question in particular for you. Of course, a road game coming up versus Vanderbilt, road game to end the season versus FSU, and kind of dating back to last year and this year as well. Tennessee, Texas A&M, you played really well on the road. So, is there a different mindset for you? Why does it seem that you kind of maybe even elevate your play in some ways on the road?
I guess that's just the competitive nature in me. When you're going on the road, everybody's going to be counting you out. So it's just a matter of just trying to shut them up and show them what you're capable of doing. And, there's no better feeling than just doing it with your brothers on the field. So I guess it's just the fact that I know the people in the stands and the other team doesn't want me to sign. I just have no reason but to sign.
Kind of continue on that, Anthony. Where have you seen two games left? You've started 10 so far, 11 in your career. What do you think your biggest improvement is so far? Is it just kind of learning the expectations of what Billy Napier wants in his offense? Is it just getting the reps, just getting the experience, just in general, or is there a lot of probably bringing together the experience, but also the experience in this new offense?
There's a lot of things. I guess the main thing I would say is just understanding how important everything is. Whether that's watching film or play calling or just carrying myself off the field. Feel like that's pretty much the main thing I've understood and learned throughout this year. Becoming a starter and understanding that everything is important, and a lot of things are riding on me, and I have to pretty much handle business and take care of business.
And inside this offense, how much freedom is there for you? Maybe walk us through it, and it may be different game by game, but how much freedom you have in this offense, whether it be to take off and run, or whether it be to make a check at the line, or change the play. Do you have a lot of freedom in changing the plays, or are you changing a lot of plays during the game from what comes in off the sideline?
In this offense, you can even ask Coach Nate. He pretty much calls it a quarterback-oriented offense, where the quarterback has majority of the control of the offense. So most of the time, I have plays where I can make checks, and most of the time I do have the power to override a call and make a play. But, it just matters the situation and what we're trying to accomplish on the field and our game plan. But overall, I do have a lot of power when it comes to this offense. But just most of the time, just trusting the guys and not having to switch anything because you know that they're going to do their job.
All right, I got a couple for Princely. Hey, Princely. It appears that the line has, or at least the defensive front has, made a bigger emphasis on setting the edge and the edges. Is that true? And what how has that come about?
What you mean by is it true?
Like, well, my point is it appears that it's happening better.
Yeah.
So, was there more of an emphasis put on it, or is it just finally things are clicking, or what?
I think just towards the back end of the season, everybody's just like we learned this new defense in spring and things like that. I feel like everything's just starting to click. Before, like, this defense we have right now is really a run stop the run first type defense, and with Grantham, like, we on the edges we were more loose and things like that, but now like they emphasize us being tighter and things like that. So I feel like everything has just been falling into place like as the season has gone on, and we're just understanding the techniques and things like that better.
Awesome. That's great. Great answer. I appreciate that. And then of course you're on this week, so I have to ask you about a tweet that you put out, and the tweet was Spencer Rattler, and I'm just wondering if that was all about, did you personally take his bowl game did you take his bowl game antics personally?
I mean, I feel like we all took it personally. He doing the Gator chomp and stuff like that. Not even just doing the Gator chomp. He did the Gator chomp and then did the little kick at the end. So, yeah, I feel like I took it a little personally. But just to clear the air, like I be seeing people come in and quote it, saying like he's been on my mind for 3 years and things like that. I just saw the video like resurface like a week ago. So then I was like, I got to give him a little bit of taste of his own medicine.
All right, great response. Appreciate that.
No problem.
For both of you guys, and Princely, we can start with you. Of course, on defense, creating turnovers has been no issue this year for the Gator defense. How much of an emphasis was that in the preseason? How much of an emphasis is it during the season in practice? And one in particular, Des Watson last week, of course, gets the turnover, and it lit the swamp on fire, and everybody's happy and jumping around. So, what was it like seeing Big Des get that fumble strip and rumble and tumble away for a little while?
It was crazy because I wasn't in the game at the time. I was at the sideline. As soon as I seen that, I was not only me, but like everybody was just ready to run on.
Think we lost Princely.
I thought that was me again.
Let's see if we can get him back. Anthony, can you hop in? You're there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Of course, you were on the sideline when that happened. So what was your reaction seeing that defense get another turnover, but also it being Big Des?
Honestly, it was shocking because we had just got off the field. So I was walking back to my spot on the sideline, and I just sat down, and I looked at the Jumbotron, and I just hear everybody screaming. I'm like, what? And Dez is running the ball. I'm like, there's no way. So after that, we had a TV timeout, and we were getting ready to call a play on the field, but I ran away from the huddle just to go celebrate with Dez. And like, it was just a different feeling because I've never seen us that excited, but we just, I don't know, it was just having fun.
This just popped in my head. We were talking about the crowd. You're talking about having fun. Of course, in between the third and fourth quarter, we get some Tom Petty. We get "We Are the Boys." Do you get a chance to?
Hello.
Hey, Princely.
You just came back in. I didn't until just then. I didn't hear anything you said. My bad.
Yeah. It's good. You quit. You cut off a little early in talking about the Des. You kind of left off that you were on the sideline.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. I was saying that I was on a sideline and that I felt like if Dez would have scored the touchdown, the whole team probably would have cleared the sideline. And even like when it happened, it was just crazy. Coach Spence ran up to me. He was like, "What the hell?" So like, yeah, it was wild. But did y'all hear anything I said about turnovers?
No, yeah, there you go. Keep going with that.
As far as turnovers go, that's something that Coach PT, has emphasized throughout the whole entire year. We have like turnover circuit and tackle circuit every week, so we're always doing that. And in meetings, like we always put up stats, and I know it's that the majority, and I think it's a high percentage, like 90% of the time, when the team wins the turnover margin, has more turnovers than the other team, that's the team that wins the game. So we always highlight that we have to get turnovers. Our goal every game is 3 or more.
Well, you mentioned how this defense is different, not to down the previous staff or anything like that, but are turnovers more of an emphasis? Is it taught a lot of the same way? Because some people will say turnovers is luck and all that, but I mean, for as many turnovers as you guys forced this year, it's got to be something that you guys are doing as well.
Yeah, no. I feel like every defensive staff in the country tells their players to get turnovers, interceptions, try to make fumbles, but it with PT it is emphasized a lot more. He talks about it every single meeting, every unit meeting we have. Turnover. He says it 3 times: turnover, 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 because that's what is a big stat in winning the game.
Go ahead, Bob.
I was going to ask more game stuff. For the game coming up, do you guys prefer the early kickoffs? Start with you, Princely.
Yeah, I prefer. I think I do prefer it, but it's kind of hard. The only thing I really don't like is how early we have to wake up. But I really just like it just because we get to go back home like early. Like we'll probably be back in Gainesville at like 4 or 5. Like when we have those. And then I like late kickoffs. I'll say I like early kickoffs for a win. And late kickoffs for home games.
Man, Princely, get some better Wi-Fi, man.
My stuff, y'all can't hear me?
Yeah,
it cut off.
Yeah, we got you a little bit. I think we got your idea there, though.
Go ahead, Anthony. What do you think about the early kickoffs?
I like early kickoffs. You get to wake up and pretty much get right into the game. The later kickoffs, that gives you more time to think about the game and make yourself a little anxious instead of just being smooth and relaxed. But a game's a game. But if I had to choose, I would choose an early kickoff.
All right,
can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
y'all didn't hear nothing I was saying?
No, we got you there mostly, Princely.
Oh, okay, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, back. We'll start with Princely again. We know you guys want to win, but do you have any particular goals for the last 3 games of the season?
I like how you started off. We know you guys want to win because you. But
that's the one to use.
Yeah. My goal is to end off the season with just multiple sacks in the rest of the games.
Okay. And Anthony?
What was the question again?
Like I said, we know you guys want to win the games, but any kind of goals, it could be for the offense, for maybe you want something else for the defense, or personally anything. We know you want to win, but what kind of goals for the last 3 games?
Honestly, our goal as an offense is to put up 42 points. Every week that's our aiming point when it comes to games and the amount of times we want to score. So 42, that's our thing. We only accomplished that once this year, and we're just slowly creeping up to it. But that's our goal, just put up 42 every game.
Yeah, and as a defense, I think that we can keep this non-scoring thing going too for the rest of the season.
Oh, there we go.
That's a goal.
I like that one.
I got one more for Anthony, and then Bob can hop back in, and maybe we'll get the Gator Collective and other fans in here. Anthony, and we'll kind of stick with this week a little bit as well. Justin Shorter has been out. Henderson is out this week, but we've had some young guys step up. Caleb Douglas has stepped up. Now there's a chance for somebody like Marcus Burke or somebody else to step up this week versus Vanderbilt. What is it like seeing those young wide receivers step up and elevate their game when you guys really need them?
I love seeing the young guys get in the game and eat. It builds confidence for them. It kind of takes the pressure out of their back because it's their first year. Some of them, their first year playing college ball. So there's a little bit of pressure and a little anxiety when it comes to that. But them getting in the game and making plays and just trusting me to get the ball to them, it's good. It allows them to, have fun, make plays. And I know a lot of people like to post their pictures after the game, so it gives them more pictures to post after the game as well.
I mean, and it's been we've. I asked Napier about that today on the SEC teleconference. Like, whenever there's been an injury, guys have stepped up. When there's been just a chance for some young guys to step up, they have. What do you contribute to that? Maybe from the staff, is it like the practice regimen in the fall where everybody's getting reps? And this can go for both of you guys. Was practice much different? Were the reps much different? Where now we are seeing guys who may not be starters, but when their name is called, they're ready to go and they're producing numbers for you guys.
I'll start off with this one. When it came to fall camp and spring, everybody got reps. Everybody had the same amount of reps, because you didn't know what your spot was going to be on the depth chart. So it didn't really matter who was going to start or who was going to be back up because everybody had the same reps. Everybody had to know the same thing. So when it comes to guys going down and other guys having to step in, they're used to it because they've ran through this thing before. They've done it before. And Coach Nate talked about it all year. Like, you never know when your name and number is going to be called. So whenever you get the opportunity, just be ready because that play that you get in might be the play that saves the game.
Yeah, it's the same answer for me too. Other than I know on the D line at least, me and G get a lot of reps. So sometimes in practice, they'll hold our reps back in practice, but not too much. I'll probably not rep like 4 less, and they'll put Boone in there for those reps. So he gets a lot of reps in practice. So when when Boone gets in the game, he always does his thing.
All right, I just have one more for Anthony, and then I know everybody else wants to ask questions. So, Anthony, about the young people, I know, or at least it seems like you make it a point after games to go to the little kids and find them and whatever, sign autographs, play football with them. I've had seen fans send pictures on Facebook and all that stuff. How important is that to you personally? I mean, you just seem like a guy that just likes to do whatever with the kids.
Honestly, I don't know where it comes from. Just having younger siblings and always just being around young children I feel like it's been my job and my purpose to have an impact on them because you never know like whose life or day you could change. You never know who you can help. And, just building relationships with people, that's really all that matters because memories last forever. And if I can, just stop and take a picture with a young fan or just toss a football with them or just even pick them up and hug them, I feel like that matters more than just being on the TV screen for them. So just being able to have an impact, I feel like that's my purpose in life. So I just try to do that whenever I get the opportunity to.
That's great, man. I need a babysitter Thursday night. You available?
It depends on what time we get out of practice. I have to let you know.
One I ask everybody on that comes on one of these, or if they come on Gators Breakdown. So Anthony Princely, I'll ask you guys quickly. All right, Coach Napier comes to you before a game, and you get to pick the uniform the team wears that week. So what color helmet, what color jersey, what color pants are you picking for the team to run out of that tunnel?
That's a hard question. I'll say all white.
We get that one a good bit. We just don't wear it enough.
Me, I would have to choose all blue because I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen it in recruiting pictures, so I'd rather see that all blue on the field just one time.
We wore all blue versus LSU our freshman year.
Bro, I'm talking about blue helmets, blue jersey, and blue.
Oh, blue helmets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to see that one too.